Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So in today's video, I want to do a bag review on the Goyard Anjou PM bag. So if you're interested, do keep on watching. So I'm sure a lot of you have heard about the brand Goyard. If I'm not wrong, I think the brand is like a heritage brand, and the original company name of the brand is actually called House of Martin. It's founded in 1792 by Pierre-Francois Martin, and they specialize in like creating luxury trunks, boxes and luggage. A bit similar to like Louis Vuitton. So back then, the House of Martin actually attracted the finest trunk making apprentices. So this was when Francois Goyard decided to begin an apprenticeship with the atelier in like 1845, and he received extensive training from Martin himself, as well as this guy called Louis Henry Morel, who was the head of the company at the time. So when Morel passed in 1852, Goyard actually succeeded him, and it was then renamed House of Goyard after that, and that is the Goyard that we know today and love. So I'm sure you know that the brand itself is always shrouded in like a cloud of mystery. Like nobody really knows the pricing of the brand, and it's very hard to purchase it because they are not available online. You actually have to go into store to purchase them, and not every country has a Goyard store. We're just really lucky that Singapore has one Goyard store available, and that's where you actually go to find out about things, find out about prices of the brand itself, and try on stuff as well, because other than that, there's no way to try on the bags from this brand itself. So a lot of times people actually go to Paris to purchase their Goyard pieces, because that is where Goyard actually has its flagship store over there. So in this video, I just want to do a bag review on the Goyard PM Anjou bag that I got in Paris this year. So Goyard is actually very well known for its tote bags, and they actually come in various options itself and various sizing as well. So the one that I have is actually Anjou, and the Anjou bags just have like a full leather interior. So the interior is actually made up fully of leather, and then inside I do have like a organizer by Art Diary that I was very kindly gifted. I'm going to leave the code down below if you want to purchase from them and get a slight discount from their brand as well. I've been using this bag ever since I bought it in Paris, so that was like in August. So that's been about like 4.5 months since I've purchased this bag, and I've gotten so much use of this bag as well. So in terms of like sizing and specifications, this bag is actually 47 cm across, it's 28 cm in height over here, and then the width is actually 15 cm, and the bag actually weighs 500 grams. It weighs 500 grams because it's leather interior. So this bag itself, you can actually turn it inside out, so you can have the leather, the blue leather on the outside of the bag, as well as the canvas on the inside of the bag. So it's actually a reversible bag as well, but I have not done that. I've always have the canvas option outside. So something that I find very interesting about the PM size bags are that the St. Louis sizing is actually very different from the Anjou PM sizing. So in terms of like height and in terms of like the width, they are similar, but for the St. Louis tote, instead of being like 47 cm across, it's actually only 34 cm across, which I find very, very interesting. And obviously the weight of the St. Louis is much lighter because it's not leather lined inside. So the St. Louis one actually weighs 250 grams, whereas the Anjou one weighs 500 grams. So that's something just to bear in mind, and it's also a reason why the St. Louis one is definitely a little bit floppier, because the inside is not lined with leather itself. So this bag is actually made of coated canvas. So right now, from what I understand, like the pattern itself is actually silk screen printed onto it, as compared to previously when it's like hand painted on it. So it's definitely not going to like peel, or like the design is not so easily taken off of the bag as well. So I feel like that's a great thing. However, that being said, because I was doing this video, I started like scrutinizing this bag, and I found like a slight nick at the bottom of the bag. I'm not sure if you can see it. There's like a white spot over here, and I've tried to remove it, but I'm not sure, it's not coming out. Maybe I just need to use some stuff to come out, but it seems very likely that the blue color of the bag has kind of like peeled off. Maybe because like I just throw this bag everywhere on, and this is the base of the bag, so that could be it. yeah, so just something to bear in mind. It definitely still gets like little marks and chips on the back as well. Other than that, I feel like this bag is extremely sturdy. I use it to carry my laptop around. I use it to carry my iPad around. The amount of stuff that I actually put into this bag definitely weighs the bag down, but I would say that this bag has held up really well. So another thing to note about this Anjou PM is that as compared to the St. Louis bag, the handles on the Anjou bag is definitely way thicker, as you can see, even though I don't have the St. Louis bag to compare it with you, but I'm pretty sure the St. Louis strap is not as thick. There are pros and cons to this being a thicker strap. I guess the pros is that it's like a lot more sturdier when you carry it, and it's just like a lot more weighty to it. But because it's so much thicker, so whenever you put it on your shoulder, it does kind of like dig into your shoulder a little bit because of the thickness of the strap. So that's really just something to take note of as well. I'm just going to take out the bag organizer so that you can see the bag in all its entirety. So it has like a leather base interior, and this base, I feel like if you do not have like a bag organizer, it will tend to flop, but it will definitely not flop as much as like the St. Louis GM for sure. So you can see that it just still holds its shape, but if you actually include the base organizer, then it will definitely hold its shape a lot more. So just putting that in, and then if I hold it, it definitely holds its shape a lot more as well. So this bag actually also comes with like a pouch inside. So this pouch is actually removable, however the leather strap that's attaching this pouch to the bag is not removable, which is a little bit strange. So even if you take out this pouch itself, there is still this like leather strap like kind of like dangling on the bag itself, because you can't remove this unless you actually snip this entire thing out. So I find it a little bit strange. Maybe they should have just make the leather bit like removable entirely. This pouch is actually quite substantial. I would say there's a back pocket over here, and then on the interior itself, it is also lined with like canvas. So this is actually the lining for the St. Louis bag itself. It's lined with canvas and just has a big pocket over here. So I don't tend to typically use this pouch. Sometimes I will use it to place stuff, but I tend to forget that I have actually placed stuff into that pouch. So I don't tend to put things in because I always forget that they're there. For those of you who are new here, my name is Amelia and I do videos on luxury and lifestyle. So if you enjoy these kind of videos, do consider subscribing, click on the notification bell so that you don't miss any of my future videos. So other than the PM size, this bag also comes in the GM size. It also comes in the Artois MM size, and the Artois actually has like a zip on the top of the bag so that you can keep your contents a little bit safer if that's something that is of a concern to you. So yeah, there are a lot of options for this bag, and then this bag also comes with a lot of options for colors. I believe in the past, if you want a color that is not like the classic color, like the brown and the black itself, then you have to pay a premium for it. But right now for the colors, there's no pricing difference. So it's great for people who want to go for the colors, but it's not so great for the people who do not want to go for the colors, because you're just simply paying the same price right now. So the one that I purchased is in this navy color. I just really like the navy color itself because it has like this white trimming, and it's not as common as the brown and black one, or just like the black one in general. So I just really love the navy color itself, and it kind of like matches like this jacket that I have on as well. So I really love the colorway for this bag itself. I feel like the navy is like an excellent choice if you want to go for something classic but you just don't want to go for black or brown. So yes, go for the navy. The pro that I have for this bag is that it's very easy to carry around. It's not crazily heavy, so you can actually put things inside, and I just really love the sizing of the bag itself. It may not be the best sizing if you want to bring this for like an overnight staycation, because it is still considerably small. So I wouldn't do that if I were you, because I don't tend to pack light. But if you're someone who tends to pack lighter than me, then I feel like this is an excellent choice to use as like an overnight bag. I know a lot of moms who actually use this as like a diaper bag itself as well, and I think that it is a great diaper bag. I would totally use this if I were to have like babies and like, you know, just want to keep like diapers and like milk bottles inside and stuff. So this is like an excellent bag for it. Price point wise, I feel like this bag is quite expensive, especially for a coated canvas bag. I'm going to include the pricing down below at the time where I purchased the bag, so I'm not sure if the pricing has gone up, because in order to find out about pricing you actually need to go into the store to find out about it. So this is at, I think, around like July. This is the pricing. I'm going to include it on the screen down below. I will highly suggest you actually go to Europe or France to actually purchase this bag, because it's so much cheaper there. I feel like I actually got this bag like, if I'm not wrong, $1,000 cheaper or more when I got it in France as compared to if I were to buy it locally. So I would highly suggest you actually purchase this overseas, because it's definitely way cheaper as well. Another thing is, because this is coated canvas, I'm not like super worried about it, even though I told you about like the slight chip at the bottom, but it's rather rain proof, so when it rains I don't really have to worry about it being wet or anything. It will just like roll right off. But if you were to compare the coated canvas of this with like the Speedy that I have in this video, then I would say that the texture of the coated canvas is definitely slightly different. This one is like a little bit more waxy, and this is definitely like silk printed on. A bit more classic and similar to your standard LV canvas, so that's something to bear in mind as well. I guess one con that I can think of this bag, I'm not sure if it will be the same for every single country, but in Singapore a lot of people actually own this tote. Like I really mean a lot of people. Like if you walk down the streets, right, you can see a lot of people carrying this tote. They're usually in like the St. Louis style, like the slightly lighter style, and not in the Anjou. But if you carry it on the outside, you can't really tell whether it's like a St. Louis or the Anjou anyways. So I feel like that is really just down to personal preference. If you want to make yourself stand out a little bit more, then you can definitely like interchange this and make this reversible so that the leather is on the outside. I just really love the fact that if you interchange it and put the leather on the outside, it's definitely a little bit more low-key, a little bit more understated, and not everyone has the same thing as you. But I mean, I just really love the canvas pattern on it. I can see why a lot of people like it, but it's just a little bit annoying when like everywhere you go, like everyone is carrying the exact same bag. So if that's something that bothers you, that I wouldn't suggest you go for this bag, depending on where and which country you live in. I know some countries Goyard is not very accessible and not very attainable, so I feel like in those countries maybe it's fine, but in Singapore everyone carries this bag. Like I really mean like everybody. So I feel like if you want to carry this bag, then go for like the slightly funner colors, because then it will just help you stand out a little bit more in the crowd, I guess. I'm not entirely sure about the resale values of the Goyard totes itself, but I assume it's not crazily high considering that it is not one of like the luxe brands, especially locally. Again, I feel like this is very country based. There are a few countries that I've seen that have a very high like demand for like Goyard pieces, because in those countries it's very hard to actually purchase one. So when the demand is high and the supply is low, so that will actually bump up the resale value of the bags. But I think in Singapore the resale value is not crazily high. So I mean, I don't feel like people should buy bags for resale values anyway, but just something to bear in mind in case that is something that concerns you. I guess overall I feel like this bag is an excellent tote bag that you can carry around every day. I would totally do that because I just think that this is great. Other than this bag, I feel like the YSL leather tote bag is also like an excellent choice for like an everyday tote bag. So that is something that you can look into as well if you're thinking of getting one and you don't want a price point to be crazily high. I think that the YSL leather tote bag will make an excellent like alternative for this bag itself if you want the leather look of it. But if you want the canvas look and you specifically want the Goyard look, then I would say that this is definitely a bag worth checking out. Maybe you just need one, you don't need like multiple of them. So I feel like just choose the sizing that works best for you and just go for it, and you know, that is like your everyday working tote bag. So I've come to the end of my video. I hope this video is helpful for you if you are thinking of getting yourself like a Goyard tote bag. I really love mine. I don't think I'll part with it like anytime soon. It's definitely like my most worn and most used bag this year, so that goes to show how much I actually really adore this bag as well. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to give this video a thumbs up. I'll love it if you subscribe to the channel for more, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye guys!